Hi, this is Elizabeth, Business Librarian at Western. Today I'm going to talk about how to find industry information using IBISworld for your Marketing 382 class. In this class, you are doing research on a local company that makes bike wheels and rims and sells directly to their consumer. Their main focus is on mountain biking. That's something to remember. I'm going to scroll down to IBISworld. IBISworld is our main industry database. Their industry reports are industry market research reports. You can search IBISworld by company name. If you're working on a fairly large or well-known company, it can be useful to search directly for that company. Because we're looking for a local company and a smaller company, I'm going to stick with a very basic search, and I am actually just going to search for bike. I'm doing this because I do know from some previous research that mountain biking itself is not an industry. What you will get is a list of resources that relate directly to bikes. You'll see this top one is motorcycle, bike, and parts manufacturing. That is the official industry that bike manufacturing falls into. By official, I mean the industry as defined by the government and in the North American Industrial Classification System. That can come in useful when looking in other resources. They may classify industry information directly related to that industry. But I do know from actually looking at these reports, while biking and mountain biking is mentioned, it's a fairly small part of this industry. Something that IBISworld does and does fairly well, they will parse out smaller or more specialized markets within a larger one. So instead of focusing on motorcycle, bike, and parts manufacturing, if I scroll down, I'll see right down here, there is one for bicycle manufacturing. That's the one I want to look at. When you look at this front page, you're going to get some basic information about the industry. Industry definition. Industry manufactures bicycles. Supply chain, key economic drivers, supply industries, related industries, demand industries. These can be useful because nothing operates in a vacuum. This company operates within this industry, and this industry is related to other industries, and that is definitely something to be aware of, especially when you're looking at demand industries. This is basically who is buying your specific products. Now you see something that says consumers. That's not linked through because that's not an actual industry. Major players, and then main activities. So you'll see manufacturing bikes, bicycle frames, designing bicycle, manufacturing bicycle parts. That's what I'm most specifically interested in. Major products and services, you'll see right here, the second one is going to be mountain bikes. So within this report, Industry at a Glance is going to give you even a broader summary, some statistics, industry structure, executive summary. Industry performance, it's going to give you some external drivers, and you'll see some things that might be influencing your specific industry that are outside of their control. If you think about a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are internal to that company. Opportunities and threats are external. Those opportunities and threats are often what you will see in some of the industry. So you'll see consumer confidence index, number of adults between 20 and 64. That's going to be your market. Demand for bicycle dealership and repair. Now disposable income. That is one of the largest factors affecting the purchase of new bicycles. And then current performance. And you'll see actually coming down a little farther, while this is an industry report, you'll even see some information related to demographic factors. Industry outlook is going to tell you how this industry will perform looking forward, or how they project this industry will perform looking forward. And then revenue outlook, products and markets, is going to give you supply chain. And if you look at products and services, this chart right here, 22% of this market, of this industry, is related to mountain biking. And then it actually takes those products and services and spells them out. So mountain bikes gives you a slightly definition of what they mean by mountain bikes. They are the second largest bicycle segment, accounting for 22% of the industry revenue. And then it talks about some of the competition even within the bike industry itself. And then major markets. This is where you start getting into, you look at ages, riders age 35 to 54, 18 to 34. If you look at the enthusiast market, this is what they call the cyclist enthusiast market. You'll see frequent riders, people willing to purchase high-end bikes. They are predominantly middle-aged and male. Do keep in mind that that may not necessarily be the market that you are looking for, especially when it comes to mountain biking. This does say this demographic concentration is largely due to income and leisure time. Bike commuting is becoming more popular, especially in bigger or eco-friendly cities. Now, that may not necessarily be who you are looking for when you're looking at mountain bikers, when you think about commuting. That is also something to be aware of and to think about. Competitive landscape, market share concentration, cost benchmarks. Major companies is where you will find market share of specific companies. You'll see Trek Bicycles 12.8. In order to be considered a major player in a market, you do have to have a market share of somewhere between 4 and 5%. If you scroll down a little bit, you will see some other companies that have a much smaller market share. Overall, these reports are really good and really strong. Something to remember looking at about the industry. Demand industry, bicycle dealership and repair. While the company you are looking at sells directly to their consumers, you do need to think about who their competitors are. And their competitors could be other smaller businesses like them selling directly to consumers. They are also probably looking at larger manufacturers who also make wheels and rims and who sell through bike dealerships. So it would not hurt to take a look at bicycle dealerships as well. So while the industry reports give you a broader overview, it could give you clues and ideas and tips that you can use to do more research. One thing to remember is that Business Source Complete also has industry information, and they do have industry reports, but they tend not to be as comprehensive or as good as the reports that you will find in IBISworld. If you remember, when we did the original search in IBISworld, I got this industry, the motorcycle, bike, and parts manufacturing. Now, this is a related industry. If I do a search in Business Source Complete for bicycle industry, one of the first items I will see is this motorcycle, bicycle, and parts manufacturing industry. Well, this looks like it might be a really great report. If I were to go in and look at this report, it would essentially be a list of statistics by state. While if you are looking for that type of information, that can be really useful. When you're looking for secondary information, especially related to an industry, competitors, other companies, that type of information is not necessarily going to be that useful. So if you do see this pop up in Business Source Complete, I would just go ahead and skip over it because it's really not going to be what you are looking for. So that's a quick overview of what you can find in IBISworld for your Marketing 382 class. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And the best way to get a hold of me is actually by email. Thanks.